for a lot of you, you feel that, maturation is all about knowing what to do all the time. Well, it's not exactly that, but I feel like the maturation process that you're going to encounter for this month, it's not so much about, knowing how to make decisions and being firm with our resolve and feeling confident that we made the right decision, but the maturation process concerns other people, and it might play out in a way where emotional maturity means detaching ourselves from a situation to let the other person live their life, pursue their goals, even though we might not agree with them. Or it's, learning to love somebody. I feel it's more about, knowing when to let go of someone and wanting the best for them, wanting them to be happy, even though they're not with us. Okay, so that's something to consider. And I feel like there will be some surprising events coming in for the month of August that is going to really test your ability to truly love somebody unconditionally and knowing when to let go, even if, deep down in your heart, you feel like you're fated to be with them. You feel like you can make them really happy, but if they're meant for somebody else, you are going to have to abide by that higher wisdom, higher truth. And you're also going to cast your ego aside in order to accept whatever it is that the other person has decided for themselves. Okay, so let's go into your reading, Cancers. So first of all, we're looking at the Sun in the Princess of Cups. So let's talk about the Sun energy first. This is coming through very strongly because we are transitioning into a fire sign, which is indicative of the Sun energy. It's representative of like the ego, the ambition, the public image that we project out into the world, and it also indicates material, worldly success that can bring a lot of happiness, joy, and contentment. It is a very, very good card, and it's coming up coupled with the Page of Cups, which indicates to me there is an offer on the table for you. Okay, in the past, this might have been something that you were 100%, waiting on. This is something that would have made a huge difference in your world. I definitely feel somebody's coming in with an offer, with a proposal, and I feel like the Page of Cups energy is a more reciprocity. It's a card that indicates reciprocity somehow. So it means that two people that could have, admiration for each other, they might have crushes on each other, they might have the same mutual receptive feelings towards one another, and they're coming together possibly as a offer for a date, offer for friendship, offer to get to know somebody better. Both of these cards indicate to me very, very childlike energies. It can indicate naivety. It can also indicate a situation where you don't think about the consequences. You just kind of like jump right in, okay? So we are transitioning into the sign of Leo, and I do feel that for a lot of you, there's this rush of energy, of emotions, where you feel like whatever I'm feeling, I need to tell the world. Whoever it is that I like, I feel like I need to step out of my comfort zone and really, really tell them how I feel. And this grab life by the horns type of an energy is something that I feel it's more of a fire energy. So I want you to be a little bit careful and take a step back a little bit, because I feel like under normal circumstances, this is not you. This is not how you operate. But you're getting a lot of bursts of confidence in yourself, in your station, in your work, in your job situation that can really be self-esteem boosting, which is a great way to handle it. But once again, keep in mind, the Princess of Cups, this is the Page of Cups, is a very, very young energy. So you want to understand as well, if you are making an offer to another person, you want to make sure they are not attached. You want to make sure that it's not going to burden them in any way. They might be in another relationship, or they might be, a colleague or something linked up in with your professional image, which might indicate they could be in the same workplace. So be very mindful about who it is that you're making a proposal to. On the other hand, what I feel is if a proposal is made to you, I do feel this is somebody that has been admiring you from afar, is what I'm feeling. They see that you are somebody who is potentially larger than life. Okay, so already there's this sense of idealism, idolizing somebody and admiring somebody from afar, and projecting this greater than, larger than life persona to this person that you like, or they are doing the same to you. So I definitely feel that the realistic expectations have to be brought back down to earth, so that both sides are not approaching each other as projections of what they want, but rather what they want from another person, but rather approaching this in a more objective manner, okay? Seeing the person for what they are versus what you wish for them to be. Because I see a lot of mirroring energy. I see also a lot of opposition here. This is water, this is fire. It indicates a situation where opposites attract, but it doesn't denote longevity. It doesn't denote compatibility right off the bat. But both of these cards are very, very good energies, which indicates that, you know, you are getting invitations, you are getting offers for friendship, for going out, for socializing, and it's going to make you feel quite happy. It's going to make you feel loved, wanted, needed, and all of these things that will really, really help with self-validation, will really boost your self-esteem. So overall, a very, very positive cluster of cards. And they both came out in the early part of August, and especially at the very beginning of the spread, which indicates to me this might have been a series of offers that came in, possibly in the July timeframe. And I just want you to be careful as well, not to, you know, overextend yourself when it comes to social engagement, and take some time to spend either alone or, you know, being with people that actually matter to you. So it's more about quality over quantity, okay? So don't overextend yourself when it comes to social engagements where you don't really necessarily want to be there. So just be careful about that. The second cluster here deals with your communication. We have the Princess of Swords as well as the Four of Swords. And let's talk about the Princess of Swords first. This is the Page of Swords. This deals with communication, messages that you are waiting on. And I do feel that the message might bring with it a little bit of a disappointment. It might bring with it unexpected news, unexpected circumstances that you were not anticipating, okay? So for those of you who are dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, and a Libra, sun, moon, or rising, and I feel like this is a very innocent type of energy that you're dealing with, someone who's very nonchalant. They might have might have issues with commitment. They might have issues about, finding a sense of life direction. So I feel like there's a kind of like everything is pretty much up in the air with this person. Since you first met them, everything was pretty much like based on their whims, their fancy. And I don't feel it's a bad energy, but I do feel that it is somebody who is very much a free spirit, who is like here today, gone tomorrow. They don't have the sustaining power and they might not stay around. And if you're waiting on communication from this person, there might be a little bit of misunderstandings. There might be like, you're sending out messages and it takes a while for them to respond to you, or there might be missing communication or just some snags along the road in the process of communicating with this person. So you might be getting news from this person, or you might be waiting on news from this person. If you're waiting on news from this person, I do feel that they're going to take their sweet time to respond, not because they're doing it on purpose, not because they're vindictive, but mainly because they've got a lot of things going on in their life. And one of the main things I see with the Page of Swords is they're kind of like at cross purposes with themselves. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's one person with their sword up, but they're looking in a different direction. So it's someone who is a little bit less experienced. They're trying to figure things out. They're trying to figure out a life direction. And it seems like they might be inundated with a lot of mental energy where they're overthinking things. And they're also like conflict avoidant as well. So I feel like they might not necessarily they might not like say things the way that they mean, or they might not say what they mean, or they might not, express themselves in a very clear, concise, and thorough manner. So they might not be prone to over explaining certain situations. They leave things a little bit vague and undefined. And that's just the nature of this Page of Swords. So if it's communication where you feel like, oh, that was really confusing, I don't really know what they're getting at, and I don't really know what they expect from me, it is important to over explain if you need to, because sometimes they just need to They tend to read between the lines a little bit too much, so it's in your best interest to try to over explain if you need to, and don't shy away from, social niceties. If something is really bothering you with this person, tell them to explain themselves, because I feel like they might not have had to do it in the past, so they don't feel the need to over explain. Okay, so in order to alleviate the communication problems, if that's something that's happening, or in order to clear up the air with this person, it is really important for you to reach out. What I'm also feeling is, for others of you who might have dealt with this person in the past, I do feel if you are sending out messages, if you are sending out communication their way, there's some type of a blockage here where they might deliberately just shut down that avenue of communication. It doesn't mean that it's there forever. I feel that they have received your messages, they're thinking about it, and they're trying to find a way to respond to this situation in a manner that is not going to be hurtful to you, or that's not, they're a little bit cautious as well. So I definitely feel something like that coming through here with communication front with an air sign. Okay, in terms of your family situation, let's look at the Hierophant and the Ten of Wands. So first of all, the Hierophant indicates with tradition, structure. It indicates hierarchy, and it also indicates some type of traditional situation. And usually when I look at the Hierophant, I think about marriage and I think about the family unit first of all. I do feel that for those of you who are there might be news communication. First of all, there's some news communication regarding potentially somebody who is feeling under the weather, who might need some type of financial assistance, and possibly a member of the family, somebody that you consider a person within your family. So you could live with someone for a really long time and they might not have blood ties to you, but you consider them your family. So family of adoption or family of blood family. So I definitely feel like there might be some communication coming through from family members, and they might be feeling under the weather. They might need some financial assistance, either moving, fixing up their home. There's something here dealing with property as well. There might be papers, contracts that you need to sign or co-sign for somebody. There might be like responsibilities or things that you have to take care of on the family front, okay? Especially for those of you who are dealing with like single parent situation where, your own father is somewhere else, your own mother is somewhere else, and I feel like because both of them are living alone, or they're in situations where they don't have one another, they might need your help with certain things around the house. I do feel there's some element here of somebody feeling under the weather, and as a result, a family member might have to step in to take care of them, or you might be stepping into the picture to take care of the family, either physically taking care of them, like watching over them, or helping out financially, or doing whatever you can, run errands for them, or helping them fixing some things because they're under the weather and they can't really muster up that physical strength in order to do it, okay? A lot of you might have some communication coming through from family members, and there seems to be a lot of expectations coming through from other people to you. I do feel on the work front, management, the supervisor, the manager, or something like that, there's a lot of responsibilities imposed upon you as well. And at the same time, there's a lot of restrictions coming through from family units. So I definitely feel this is playing out in the work environment, especially for those of you working in a bigger institution, bigger company, bigger organizations, especially those that are linked up with the government in some capacity. I definitely feel increased workload, increased responsibilities, okay? And at the same time, it might be, it's interesting, I'm just getting this now. A lot of you might be looking for new work assignments, like reassignments. A lot of you might have applied for it within the past few months, and you're in a position where you're getting communications, and they might ask you to transfer to a different location, and you're grabbing all your things, and I feel like you're doing it in a very, very swift manner. So I definitely feel some type of mandate coming in, either from some structure work environment, some mandate coming in from the family unit where they're asking you to physically relocate yourself, or there's some responsibilities that they need you to take over in a different area from where you are geographically. So I definitely see movement and things like that happening in this cluster, which indicates that somebody is giving like a command from the top down. It's like some top down type of command system where you might have to, at a moment's notice, pick up your things and move to a different location, okay? Especially for those of you working in a government or contract capacity. The last cluster that we're dealing with here is the Prince of Cups and the World. So the world, first of all, indicates expansion in your geographical location, expansion in opportunities that are coming through for you, and it's overall a very, very positive card. It's linked up with the Prince of Cups, which indicates emotional offers. Okay, so this is like you either reaching out to a person, and I feel like there might be an element of geographical distance between the two of you. And I'm going back to the initial message where I feel like for whatever reason you wanted to make an offer to a specific person in your life. I feel like whoever it is that you've got your eyes on, they are very, very attractive. And once again, beauty is very subjective. So, that's not the whole selling point about this person. I feel like they are very educated. They're very worldly based on the world card. They might be very well traveled. They might be culturally very different from you. So different cultural, linguistic, ethnic background. A lot of you are contemplating a major trip overseas as well, because the world does indicate expansion in your geographical location, which is traditionally, traveling overseas, making a love offer, wanting to travel with another person, wanting to travel to see another person as well. So there might be discussion, talks, and things like that back and forth between you and another person. Likewise, they can come, they might be the one to come see you, but I feel like because we're looking at it from, I guess, from your angle, well, from my angle, it's more like left to right. So because we're looking like at the past and the future, it seems to me like you're staying, you might be the one that is taking the trip, or taking the opportunity, taking the chance to go see them, okay? What I'm also feeling is the World and the Prince of Cups just indicates expansion in the types of people that you are finding yourself attracted to. Attraction to people who are a little bit more, I guess seasoned is the right word. Someone who has a lot of life experience under their belt. Someone who has a lot to teach you, a lot to offer you. And I do feel you're now at a point where you're looking for more substance, more stronger emotional, spiritual connections with another person. So already we are starting out here with the Page of Cups, which is a water sign, your energy. And we are advancing into the Knight of Cups. So I definitely feel this is a major, major emotional maturation process where you are going to have to be a little bit more selective about who you date. And you're saving yourself for someone who you feel is like very, very worthy of the admiration, the adoration, and basically the whole process of showering love and affection on another person. I definitely feel you are attracted to somebody, or at least if you are single, especially, you're going to run across or cross paths with someone who's really going to it's like I feel like this sense of like being starstruck, this sense of like crossing paths with somebody who you feel is just, you're very mesmerized by this person, okay? What I'm sensing as well is just, sheer amount of opportunities on the dating front, on the social engagement front that's coming through for you. I feel like for a lot of you, you're admiring somebody from afar, and you are trying to make a proposal to them. You're trying to bring something to them, but you don't even know if what you have, it might be just, like a crushing on somebody, or feeling very smitten by someone, but doubting whether or not they are going to reciprocate your feelings. I do feel there is a lot of reciprocity coming in for this month, especially if you're dealing with new people that you haven't dated before. I definitely feel it is a good month for you to venture out, because there will be contact. There will be a lot of positive reception with the new people coming into your life, okay? Now, in terms of your advice, we do have here the Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Five of Wands. So it's what's really interesting to me is as I was going through these four clusters, I was just like, it's not so much, money, finance related. It's all about love, communication, and things like that. And the advice card, of course, is the Queen of Pentacles, which indicates to me that right now, financially, you're in a really, really good space. And whenever cancers are not stressed out about finances, I'm just going to assume, if the finance situation doesn't show up in the first four clusters, it basically means you're sitting pretty, you're reaping the financial rewards from your hard work. Whatever work that you're putting in, whatever effort, energy, resources you're putting in, you're getting everything out. So I feel like financially for this month, things are going to be pretty smooth sailing, especially towards the tail end of the month, where you're going to have a lot of financial abundance, and it's going to really stabilize your emotional life. So whenever the money supply is dwindling, you tend to get a little bit like anxious, nervous, and you might not act at your best. But I feel like financially, everything is pretty nice and, trouble free for this month. And as a result of it, you're able to take some time off. You're able to really go out there and enjoy your social contacts and, spend time with people in a social setting. So it means basically you're going out. You're not worried about your finances. You're concerned about work somewhat. There's a little bit of stress in the work front. But if you're getting paid like a flat salary, I don't feel that affecting you so much. And you're even contemplating travel, which indicates to me you definitely have some type of financial abundance at this point that's allowing you to do all of that, okay? What I'm also feeling is there is a situation here. We have an earth sign in the mix, okay? And this is somebody who is very, very financially well off. This could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn that you're dealing with. There is somebody here that is basically controlling the purse strings. I feel like more of an authoritative energy with her. And this can be male or female in your life. I feel like this is somebody that you were potentially trying to win over. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, somebody who has a lot of options, somebody who has a lot of suitors, somebody I am feeling like the gatekeeper. She or he is the person in authority. So for those of you who are trying to, either appeal to like an authority figure or trying to, get your name through the door, get your foot through the door in a big organization, I definitely feel that there's fierce competition for this one spot. And I definitely feel that you are taking a very creative approach in order to stand out from the crowd. A lot of you might be interested in a person like this who has that financial abundance, who has like a lot of suitors, who might have the world at his or her disposal, someone who's just, there's an element of traveling, someone who travels a great deal. So I definitely feel that you do stand out in some way, but this is not someone who is easy to win over. I do feel there are many competitors in your midst, and I feel like you're putting in, you're basically entering the contest in order to win this person over, or in order to you're putting your application in order to win this position, okay? So I feel like there might be even like a managerial, supervisory position. If you're looking for a promotion and, the company has just opened up these positions that are upper management, I feel that you're putting in your lot just to see if you're going to be able to make it. And I definitely feel that it's going to pan out very, very nicely for a lot of you. So first of all, we have the Five of Wands. This indicates competition. And we do have the Fool here. So take a risk, take a chance. And I do feel you are going to be rewarded handsomely if you have faith in yourself, if you believe in your skills, your capabilities, and your assets, and everything that you're bringing to the table. So going back to the initial message where I mentioned that don't be afraid. Don't sit on the sidelines nibbling at life. Really go for it. And I do feel the bigger the risk, the more the reward coming through for this month, okay? So have that sense of faith in yourself, in your skills, in your potential, in your capabilities. And I do feel that taking that leap of faith and doing things that really tugs at your heart no matter how scary, how daunting, how overwhelming it seems, it's not going to be that bad. So I feel like you might overanalyze, overthink a situation. You might be a little bit like kind of caught up in the insecurities that you see in yourself that nobody else sees. So you might be hesitant about trying something, but I do feel by the end of the month, especially I'm inclined to say like after the 17th or so, the 17th of this month, the second half of this month, there will be opportunities. It's there for the taking. It's up for grabs. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be interested in it. It could be in work or it could be in love. It could be like supervisory positions that are recently opening up. So put in your candidacy, okay? So make sure you are going to grab life by the horns and don't hesitate and don't feel as if you're not good enough for a specific person or for a specific position. Let other people be the judge of it, okay? And if you're dealing with another person, you feel like, wow, they've got a lot to offer. I don't even know if they're interested in me. Well, let them be the judge. Just make sure that you set your intentions and go for what you want and don't hesitate, okay, Cancers? So I'm going to do your love reading and see if any of these people pop back in, because I feel like it's not so much work and finance related. It's more about, new opportunities, new ways to do things, possibly relocating and things like that. But it's not heavily love. It's not heavily like career work focus. So let's just see what's in store for you for love and relationships for August 2016. So as I mentioned about to the other 6 signs, I used the Joie de Vivre deck by Paulina Cassidy, and I'm traveling, so I left my other deck at home. So I'm going to use this one instead. This is the first one that I use for the love readings. And I apologize, but I'm not going to do reversals with this deck. It's easier to read without reversals, okay? So whatever comes out, I'm going to flip them over so that they're right side up, and then we'll just go into your reading. So let's see, Cancers, love and relationships. Oh, okay, good card. Love and relationships for August 2016. Yeah, we've definitely got an earth sign that recently came into the picture. So one of the things that I'm getting right here already is they're basically telling you not to take situations and people for granted, okay, right off the bat. Actually, I'm going to pull out one more card for this 8 of Wands here. If you see an opportunity, if you see somebody that you like, if you see someone that really, if you're single at least, if you see someone who really, strikes your fancy, really go for it, okay? So don't sit on the sidelines of life, and also don't assume that someone is like, don't assume you've got something in the bag, okay? So don't assume, oh, this person's interested in me. They're going to wait around for me. Don't assume that, because I feel like the minute you assume that person's going to be there, I feel like they've got other obligations, and they might not appreciate, the fact that you're not responding, or you're taking them for granted. I feel like it's really going to hurt their ego. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's talk about your reading here. You've got some really good cards, and you've got a lot of people, a lot of good options too. So at the center of the spread, we have here the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands usually indicates a lot of communication. In our modern age, this is going to deal with, email, telephone, text messages, however you communicate with another person. So this can be via social media as well. There's a lot of it coming back and forth between you and other people. And I do feel it's going to be through from you to other people and from other people to you. I don't feel it's one-on-one basis. The one-on-one type of communication usually indicates like the Two of Cups, where two people sit down at a cafe, at a place, or going on a date and having a conversation to get to know each other. This deals with like a lot of communication coming from different channels via multiple people. So you have some options here to choose from, okay? A lot of you might just be online dating, or you could just be like sought out by many, many suitors. Okay, so it's a very, very good card. And it's coupled with the Eight of Swords as well. So let me just say this. You have a lot of communications. You have a lot of information coming through. And you also have a lot of suitors coming through. And what I feel is happening is I see you retreating a little bit. I see you kind of like feeling a little bit overwhelmed, not sure which way to go and not sure which offers to accept, which offers to turn down. So I see you shying away from it. When someone like seeks you out, I guess like this is more of the air sign qualities as well. Fire signs are very, very much about, they're very goal oriented. If they see somebody they like, they are very open and honest when it comes to the communication and when it comes to stating whatever it is that they feel about the other person. So they're very verbal and they're very straightforward and direct. As a water sign, but I feel like this is more of a Cancerian and possibly Aquarius trait. You're represented by the crab. And the thing about crabs is that they tend to move sideways. If you've ever been at a beach and you've observed a crab, they tend to move sideways. And when they see the object that they like, they tend to run circles around that. And they need to make sure, they check the parameters to make sure that the environment is safe before they head in, okay, for the kill, or, they head in to pursue something. So I feel like that's what's happening here. Somebody is coming at you very, very aggressively. And you might take a step back and you might not be comfortable with it, or you might feel like they might have ulterior motives. So either way, I feel like they don't have ulterior motives. I don't sense that. But I do feel that because they're coming in abundance and they're coming in so aggressively, it makes you a little bit nervous, because I do feel that you and Aquarius, you tend to act a little bit more aloof when you're dealing with other people. Aquarius, that's just something that they do. But with you, it might be shyness, or it might just be, trying to play it cool, or taking a more indirect approach at getting what you want, or communicating in a way that might not be completely clear cut, or concise, in order to get to the object of your affection. So I feel like there's a roundabout way in which you're doing things. Some people can consider it like blowing hot and cold. In your mind, you feel like I'm just being cautious, but I feel like other people might think you're blowing hot and cold. So be consistent with communication. Try to narrow down your options, and at least, state very clearly. If you're not interested in somebody, you don't have to play nice. Just don't waste people's time, I feel, and just be very, very clear, succinct with communication. And I feel at the same time, if you are dealing with an air sign, so an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, I definitely feel there's this like constant blowing hot and cold back and forth between you and an air sign. If you're dealing with them, where, you say one thing, they think you mean another, and then they say one thing, you think they mean something else. So I definitely feel that situation, if that seems to be the case with the air sign, I don't feel anybody's doing it on purpose. I just feel like it's different elements communicate very differently, react very differently as well. So it's just a case of misunderstanding and not really understanding where the other person's coming from, okay? On the other hand, I feel like we have an earth sign here in the past. This is somebody that is showing up from the past, okay? It's in the past position. There is somebody in your life. This is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Once again, I feel like there's an element here of this person. They are very worldly. They have been traveling a lot. They have a lot, culturally, linguistically, ethnically, they might be very different from you, okay? They're very established in their field. They're like, mid-career professional is what I would call this. It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's somebody who is very, very slow to action, but whatever they commit themselves to, they commit fully. So they don't commit easily, but they commit, once they commit themselves, they are very reliable, and they are very caring, very nurturing, and they're willing to build a future with you. It's linked up here with the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords indicates like very good communication. There's a great energetic flow between you and this person, and I definitely feel there's an element of distance associated with the two of you. They might travel a lot, you might travel a lot, and as a result of it, there might be like very, very little time in order for you both to like get together, to have to form a stable, to build a relationship, like a stable relationship with one another. So there's some difficulties here, and it has been a situation in the past where there might have been difficulties, but I definitely feel that this is somebody that you really enjoy talking to, and you have a great deal of things in common, and you have like a very good intellectual rapport as well. What I'm feeling with this person is that there's some communication coming through from them. They might be in the area and they might want to see you. There's some type of a solid offer coming through, like an offer on the material level, you know, like going on a physical date, or getting together, and there's something concrete here that's coming into the picture. What I'm also feeling is this person, I feel like, likes you quite a bit, okay? We do have the victory card associated with it as well. So this is somebody that they might be in and out of the picture because of circumstances, not because of their feelings for you. But I definitely feel like they're solid, they're a solid character, they do like you quite a bit. What's coming in the future, though? We do have here the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a fire sign. So this is movement. This indicates travel, movement, and things like that. On the mundane level, it can represent a person, a fire sign, Taurus. I'm sorry, not Taurus. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and this is somebody who is quite aggressive with their communication. They're very straightforward. What you see is pretty much what you get. They're very courageous, and they also travel quite a bit too. This is someone who has trouble sitting still, staying in one place. They have a very low boredom threshold as well. They're linked up with the Nine of Wands. There's a little bit of a fear of commitment with this person, mainly because their lifestyle is very, very, independent, and they don't like to travel with a lot of emotional baggage. And it's hard to put this person into a framework where they are going to either fit the mold of a relationship partner. They don't really like labels, and they might not be in a position where they will stay around long enough for a relationship. I feel like commitment phobic energy with this fire sign, okay? Not only because they're a fire sign, but because I feel like there might have been things in their past that they are escaping from, and they might have recently left a relationship, and now they are trying to play the field, not in a way where they're deceptive. I feel like they're trying to be a little bit more cautious. They're trying to take their time to get to know someone very, very well before they jump into a relationship. What I'm also sensing as well is I feel that there is a fire sign that you've been dealing with, okay? So this is, once again, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. I feel their energy coming in very, very heavily for this month. And what I'm sensing is they want to see you. For some reason, they might have been out of the picture in the recent past. They're like out of the picture. They're making a comeback into your life sometime for this month. And the communication between the two of you, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of passion. So I feel that, but at the same time, there's a lot of fearfulness from your end, okay? You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle this situation. It's highly volatile. It's highly like, I feel it being highly volatile. I feel like there is a lot of hesitation on your end about what to do. So I feel like you're possibly on the defense against this person. They might be coming back from the past. You might have had squabbles in the past. You might not have seen eye to eye on many of life's decisions and choices. And I feel like they're making a comeback. There's going to be communication. They might, communicate with you that they want to see you, or they might want you to come see them. But I feel like it's not a harmonious, because you're a water sign, they're a fire sign. It's not a harmonious union. I do feel they have a good heart and they mean well. And they're very brave, courageous, and you like them a lot, mainly because, like the opposites attract that type of an energy where you attract one another. So there's great attraction, there's great passion. But I feel like there's something here where there's something in this situation where you're feeling fearful about re-engaging, and you feel like they wear their heart on their sleeve. So you feel like no matter what happens, this is going to, if you agree to it, it's going to lead to a serious relationship. So I feel like you're not really sure what you want to do, and you're taking a step back as well. Okay, so there's a lot of communication. A lot of you might have recently gotten out of a relationship with an earth sign transitioning to a fire sign, and all of a sudden you're getting communication from both, and you're just inundated with like, what do I do now? And you might take a step back. You might just remove yourself from a situation. You might not respond altogether. So going back to what I mentioned earlier, it's a whole process about maturation. So if you feel like, I really like this fire sign, but I don't know how we're going to build a future together, it is really important for you to, put other people's needs first, which is to clearly explain the circumstance, to clearly explain your feelings for them, and express your concerns to them as well. So I feel like sometimes you might like somebody and we might selfishly keep them for our own purposes, and we know we can't give them what they want, okay? I feel like you've got two very, very solid options on the table, the earth sign and the fire sign, and you're kind of like caught in the middle and you're not really sure what to do. A lot of you are leaning towards this earth sign. A lot of you feel that there can be a victory, which indicates, a solid, stable relationship that can be had here. Whereas the fire sign is a little bit aggressive, and the chemistry is very exciting, but you're not sure if it's going to go anywhere. And as a result of it, you might be letting them go. Okay. And I feel like if you can't give them what they deserve or what you feel they want, it's really important to verbalize that, okay? So let's look at the crowning energy. The crowning energy is usually, the things that are weighing on your mind, the things that are affecting your decisions.